Hi everyone, I'm Tanaz from foreverconscious.com, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the main cosmic themes for 2021. I'll also at the end of the video give you a little brief snapshot into the themes for each sign of the zodiac. Alright, so 2021 brings some fresh energy, but in order to understand what 2021 has in store, we do have to go back and take a look at 2020. 2020 brought so many rare cosmic alignments, and these rare cosmic alignments indicated new energy, new beginning, the start of a new cycle, and we had quite a few of them in 2020. So here now in 2021, it's our opportunity to integrate these energies, all of the upgrades, all of the energy shifts, all of the shifts in consciousness that we experienced last year. We now have the opportunity to integrate them. They're still there. They're, these big, cycles that began last year, the energy of them is bubbling in the undercurrent, and we're able to integrate them as we move through 2021. 2021 is also a number 5 year in numerology, which is all about creativity and innovation. So again, we have this new energy and we're able to play with it. We're able to create and use it in new sort of innovative, thrifty, out of the box type ways. These are all big themes for 2021. We also have strong Aquarian energy happening this year, and this is in part linked to that rare alignment we had in 2020 on December 21st. It was that great conjunction, which was the alignment of Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius. This alignment, which happened last year, is creating this sort of wave of Aquarian energy and helping us integrate and shift into this age of Aquarius. So what can we expect under this Aquarian energy? Well, although we're feeling this Aquarian energy all through the year, I want to point out that February 11th in particular, when we have this Aquarius new moon, there is just really strong Aquarian energy. In fact, the Aquarius new moon is very strong, but all the way through the end of January to the first part of February, we really have this strong Aquarian energy. We'll really be feeling it. We'll really be getting a dose of it, and that will flow through the remainder of the year, but we'll feel it strongly January, February. So Aquarian energy, what can you expect and how can you kind of work with this strong Aquarius energy? Aquarian energy is very much about the collective. It's about the group. What is good for the group? It's not so much concerned on the individual. It's more about the collective and how we can sort of work together, come together. Like, it's a very community-based energy. It's also an energy that allows us to recognize that it's not me, it's we. And while this is beautiful, we also have to keep in mind a little bit of balance here, because we don't want to completely forget the needs of the individual. And that can sometimes be a tendency when we have strong Aquarian energy. It's good for the group, but it's maybe sometimes we're overlooking those individual needs. So it'll kind of be a little bit of a, finding a little bit of balance between these two states. Aquarian energy is also all about technology and advancements in technology and innovation and finding new sort of ways of doing things. So definitely we saw a lot more technology infiltrate our lives a lot more last year. We'll definitely continue to see that trend this year, and maybe even more so. Aquarian energy on the deepest of levels is also about healing and healing the collective consciousness. If you think of the symbol for Aquarius, it's the water bearer. Now, Aquarius is not a water sign, it's an air sign, but it has the ability to collect the water, which is sort of symbolizes the collective consciousness. It has the ability to collect the collective consciousness, cleanse it using the power of air or the power of breath, and then return it back down to earth. And so we each have that ability this year, all of us, no matter what our sign is, we can each tap into this Aquarian gift of healing, being able to take the collective consciousness of everything, of ourselves, of our connection to the collective consciousness, and the world around us, and finding ways to heal, to transform, to shift to higher levels. There's this sense this year, and I really feel that we're not our spiritual work, our meditation, our visualizations, they're not just for us anymore. They're for the planet, they're for the universe, they're for the greater whole. And so we can all kind of connect with that energy in our own ways, in whatever way feels right for us, and really use this Aquarian energy to heal ourselves, to heal and raise the frequency of our collective consciousness. So some beautiful energy there with this strong Aquarian energy, which will flow through all the year. But like I mentioned, we're really feeling it at the end of January, that first part of February on that Aquarius new moon, Feb 11th. All right, the next major theme for 2021 was the Saturn-Uranus square. So Saturn is in Aquarius, Uranus is in Taurus, and 3 times throughout 2021, they will form a square alignment. So they'll be 90 degrees from each other. This is a rare alignment, and the fact that it happens 3 times throughout the year indicates, and it's an important theme for this year. It's going to really shape the beginning, middle, and end of the journey that we walk through this year. The first alignment for the Saturn-Uranus square is February 17th. This is like the beginning. The next one is on June 14th, and then the final is December 24th. So these dates become sort of like the beginning, middle, and end of this journey. Saturn and Uranus, when they come together in this square alignment, it indicates a little bit of rebellion. It indicates some restlessness. It indicates a little bit of tension. It can be sort of a push-pull between establishment and freedom, or establishment, governments and establishment and the people. We kind of saw this in 2020, and I feel like it will continue through 2021 as well, that there is this sort of butting heads. And the reason for this, or the higher reason for this, is that there needs to be some sort of shakeup. There needs to be some sort of change to establishment, to, the tried and true, things that govern our society. This is about shifting society, and that was sort of a theme in 2020, and we again see that this year as well. The way that we govern society needs to shift, and that's what we'll see manifest under this Saturn-Uranus square. The Saturn-Uranus square is also very much a calling card for the Mother Earth and how we are treating the planet. We really need to step up and take responsibility. And this energy, this alignment may really force us to do that. We can no longer afford to abuse our planet, and we may get some strong messages under this energy. It can bring sort of extreme weather events and things like that, but really it's our calling card to wake up and protect the planet when that Saturn-Uranus alignment happens. So something to keep in mind there, just really being conscious about how you're choosing to use the resources of Mother Earth. Uranus is also the planet of surprise. So whenever it is making an alignment, especially a very significant one like this, it is a little bit unpredictable because the nature of Uranus is unpredictability. So there could be something shocking, something surprising, some new information that sweeps through that kind of catches us off guard. And if you notice that happening on a personal or on a global level around the time of these alignments, just know that Uranus awakens us. Uranus surprises us to awaken us. It shakes things up so we can open our eyes and see things in a new light, to see things in a new way. So if you do feel shakeups, know that it's the key message there is that shaking is to awaken you and to wake new parts of your consciousness and awareness and beliefs and ways of doing things. All of that could be up for change, especially around the time of these alignments. We may be forced to pivot a little bit. So this will definitely be an energy to watch as we move through the year. The next big alignment of 2021 that I want to talk about is the eclipses. So last year in 2020, we had 6 eclipses. Now, eclipses are like the turning points of the year. They are quantum leaps, and so they kind of become powerful indicators when we want to look and see how the year's going to go. Wherever we have eclipses, we know, okay, there's a quantum leap coming where we're usually forced to release or let something go in order to sort of graduate to that next level. Not always, sometimes it can also be things coming into our life, but usually with eclipses, we're sort of taking a quantum leap and we're letting something go and moving into a completely new territory. So we have 4 eclipses in 2021, which is the typical amount. In 2020, we had 6, so that was a lot of eclipse energy. This year, we just have the usual typical 4. However, 2 of these eclipses will be the strongest type you can have. The first will happen in May 26th, 27th. We have a blood moon eclipse. This is a full moon eclipse, and a full moon eclipse is referred to as a blood moon because the moon will get this beautiful kind of reddish glow to it around the eclipse times. That's why they call it a blood moon. This is definitely a purge point. We're really being guided here to cleanse, to release. Because this eclipse happens in the sign of Sagittarius, it's likely that what we're releasing is some beliefs, some really entrenched, ingrained beliefs or attitudes or things that we believed were true that now no longer serve us. This is a release on a sort of, not just a mental level, because we definitely will feel these eclipses physically, but this really feels like letting go of an entrenched, ingrained belief. And we may see that happening on a societal, global level, but also on a deeply personal level as well. So that eclipse will be something to watch. The other big eclipse is the final eclipse of the year. It happens on December 4th, and that is the total solar eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius. Now, again, in Sagittarius, so 2 big eclipses this year happening in Sagittarius. Total solar eclipses are usually, points of walking into a new portal. What makes this eclipse extra significant is that it ends the eclipse cycle we have been working with at that point for the last 18 months. So if you notice, eclipses always happen in the same 2 signs. So the eclipse cycle we have been working with for and will be working with for about 18 months is this Gemini Sagittarius eclipse cycle. So pretty much all the eclipses this year, with the exception of 1, will happen in Gemini and Sagittarius. And that solar eclipse come December will be the last eclipse in this cycle. So we're not just, it's not just sort of the solar eclipse opening into a new portal. We're also ending this big eclipse cycle that we've been working with. So that'll be something to keep in mind. We get a little taste of what the new eclipse cycle will be working with, which is having eclipses in the sign of Taurus and Scorpio. We'll get a little taste of that in November. However, that energy won't really kick into gear until 2022. So just to kind of recap there, if I got a little confusing, so eclipses always happen in the same 2 signs. We have been working with Gemini and Sagittarius as an eclipse cycle, and will continue to for most of this year. The last eclipse in that cycle will happen in December of 2021. And after that, we'll begin this new eclipse cycle of Taurus and Scorpio eclipses. So whenever we begin a new eclipse cycle, it sets up a new kind of theme in our life. And even though I'm giving you the yearly forecast, I should have mentioned this, I do release a weekly forecast. So if you subscribe to my channel, you can get those weekly forecasts. I'll be able to kind of guide you through week by week and go into a little more detail. Of course, I'm filming this in January, so, the energies are a little harder to tap into so far out. But if you want a little more specific info, specific guidance, subscribe to the channel and check out my weekly forecast. But this will start that new Taurus Scorpio eclipse cycle next year. However, we'll get a little taste of it come November. Another energy that I want to talk about for 2021 is the movement of Jupiter. Jupiter will be in Aquarius for most of 2021, and that will amplify those Aquarian themes that I mentioned earlier. However, from May 13th to June 29th, Jupiter will enter Pisces just for a little stay before going back into Aquarius as it retrogrades. So when Jupiter enters Pisces, we get a little bit of a different energy. We get a little taste of a different energy. Jupiter in Pisces is creative, it's dreamy, it's imaginative, and it's also a highly spiritual placement, a great time to focus on, spiritual practices and your own personal connection with your inner, or higher self. This Jupiter Pisces energy will be fully expressed and fully realized come December 31st, when Jupiter will enter Pisces, where it will remain for the next 12 months. And that will mostly set up the theme for 2022. But I just want to talk about this brief little window. Jupiter spends about 12 months in each sign of the zodiac. So very often astrologers will look to Jupiter to see what the themes are going to be for the year ahead. So we do have this Aquarian energy, but then we'll get this little window in May, July, where we'll get a taste of that more Piscean, creative, dreamy energy. And just going back a little bit, I mentioned that 2021 is a number 5 year in numerology. A 5 year is very creative. This Jupiter Pisces energy, again, very creative. We really have some power here to manifest, to set intentions, to take action, take steps that are in alignment with where we want to be. Remember, we're integrating a lot of energies, and as we integrate, that integration process allows us to tap into new levels of creativity, new skills, new little pockets open in our mind, in our heart. We become more open and aware of the world and what's important to us. And we may be really feeling that in this little window where we have Jupiter entering into this sign of Pisces. And then the final thing I'll mention for 2021 is Venus. At the end of the year on December 19th, Venus will go retrograde. Venus retrogrades every 18 months or so, and it's always a time of heart healing and heart opening. Venus will retrograde in the sign of Capricorn, and really it'll be a time for us to really reflect on our values, on what's important to us, and on our worth. Where are we getting our feelings or that level of worth? Where are we sourcing that from? And if we're sourcing it from outside influences, we may find that they become not stable anymore, and that we need to kind of go within and figure out how to source our worth from within. So that will be happening come December. I actually also just want to mention Venus will be doing something special this year as well. It will be aligning with the planet Mars. This is pretty rare. It happens every 2 years or so. Venus and Mars will come together on July 13th, and as they align, it's a positive omen for love. It's a positive omen for harmony and balance and peace. It represents sort of the yin and the yang energies coming into harmony. So that's something to look out for, a beautiful energy there. It's also said to increase the meeting of soulmates on planet Earth as well. So that will be a special alignment happening in July. I also just want to mention, and this maybe is a little bit of a bold thing to say, but I want to talk about Saturn. Just to wrap this up, Saturn will be in Aquarius all through 2021. And I do feel, and from what I've been looking at Saturn's movement, I feel like it's not going to be until Saturn leaves Aquarius, which happens in March of 2023, that we will really be at the end point of the pandemic. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to be how it is right now all the time. Of course, the story will progress, the story will unfold, but I don't feel like we're going to be at that final, close the chapter on this until Saturn leaves Aquarius. That is just a prediction I am making, something that I've witnessed. Maybe it's a little simplified way of looking at the astrology, but I do feel like Saturn in Aquarius is very much challenging and influencing, some of the things that we're seeing with the pandemic. And I feel like we may not be at the end of it until March 2023. But like I said, it progresses. It's not going to be how it is now. It'll progress, and that final chapter will come when Saturn is ready to leave Aquarius. So just making a little prediction there. Okay, so now let's move on to the signs of the zodiac and what you can expect for each sign. I recommend listening to both your rising and your sun sign. These are tropical. I'm doing the tropical placements for the zodiac. I also want to point out before I go into the signs that if you want more information, or you want to get some of the dates that I mentioned for 2021, I wrote an article, I'll put a link below. I go into a little bit more detail in the article, but now let's get into the 12 signs. Aries, your focus this year is going to be on your goals, dreams, and wishes. This is a wonderful time to think about how you can align your actions with your intentions. As a fire sign, you are definitely impulsive and, can want to race ahead at times. But this may be a year to kind of think about, how can I make sure that what I'm doing, what I'm giving my energy to, all my actions are aligned with where I want to be going? A little more intention behind the actions. While socializing and, building community might look a little bit different at the moment, especially, this is really also a year for you to focus on finding ways to build community, however that needs to look like for you. You are an independent soul, but don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help and to create a supportive community around you. Taurus, this is a fantastic career year for you. However, there is a little bit of hard work involved. You may feel a little stretched when it comes to your work. However, know that your rewards are coming. Your hard work will lead to rewards. Just be mindful. You don't want to overly push yourself or put pressure on yourself to the point of exhaustion or burnout. But get in alignment. You're very heart-centered, so follow your heart and know that any hard work is really going to yield positive results. Really, if there's something that you want to do, especially with your career, especially with, feelings of going after something that fills you with purpose and meaning, this is a real year to put in some effort, to push a little harder, because you are going to see those results. On top of that, you have a lot of changing energy flowing through your part of the zodiac. This is not just for 2021, it's actually for the coming years. As a Taurus, you're not always the best with change, right? That's the stereotype. However, there really are some lessons and, gifts for you in learning how to surrender and go with the flow a little bit more. So if you're feeling some of that this year, really see how you can kind of surrender and find some harmony in any changing or erratic energies that may cross your path. Gemini, the eclipses have been in your sign for the last year and a bit. So you have definitely been feeling this idea of taking quantum leaps, of, transforming, of having to leave something behind or having to let things go in order to step into your fullest potential. And that journey continues through this year as well. You are almost at the end stage of that cycle. So you'll definitely start to feel that this year as you move through the year. This is a really great time to expand your mind. You have a very curious, sharp mind. You always want to learn. You're always absorbing information. This is a great year to do something new, to learn something new, to challenge yourself, to try something you've never tried before, to really keep your mind active and involved in new things. There's also a very strong creative energy flowing through the zodiac for you this year. So really tapping into your creative side, your creative visions and potential, and making your creativity the focus of everything that you do. Cancer, you may find that you are doing a little bit of soul searching this year. There is power on your side to really dig deep and uncover new layers, new wisdom, new things about yourself. You're really understanding yourself on a deeper level this year. And there are some beautiful realizations that may come through that. Along on this journey of deeper realization and a deeper understanding of who you are also surrounded in abundance this year. Real abundance is always around us, but you have the power this year to call it in a very strong, easy, and flowing way. So connect with abundance, know that it is there, and stay open to what the universe brings your way. Leo, the focus for you this year is going to be on your partnerships. Who are you choosing to surround yourself with? That may be a question that you find yourself working with through 2021. This is not just in your personal life, but also in business as well. You may find that you have to work on setting boundaries with others, or if you've been too guarded and too reserved, you may find that some walls need to come down so your heart can shine through. Partnerships can also, while they can bring lessons and growth for you, they can also bring opportunity and can spell success for you in business and in your personal life as well. There's opportunity to really grow and flourish through the partnerships that you keep. Virgo, you may find yourself very busy this year, lots of opportunities, lots of projects coming your way, but be mindful of getting stuck in busy work. You're really going to have to be mindful about what you choose to say yes and no to this year. You definitely don't want to, cause yourself burnout. You don't want to get into that sort of overdrive perfectionist mind. You're going to have to try and stay in your grounded, beautiful self and really think about, is this worth my time? You don't have to say yes to everything that comes your way. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Along with this very productive energy that's flowing through your life this year, you also have strong energy that's supporting health and healing. If there's something you want to address in your health, if there's something you want to address on a sort of spiritual healing level, you have a lot of support on your side this year as well. Libra, you are like a magnet this year. You have the power to really draw in all it is that you want to create. Your ability to manifest will be very high all through 2021, so definitely use it. There's beautiful creative energy around you, and when you have creative energy around you, you're able to take nothing and turn it into something. If you imagine like bare, fertile soil and you plant some seeds and you're able to kind of grow a garden, that is sort of an understanding of the energy around you. You've been given the most fertile land this year, so plant some seeds. Think about what you want to create and then allow yourself to be guided to the steps that are needed to bring that creation into fruition. Beautiful creative energy surrounds you this year. You also have beautiful heart energy on offer to you this year. So you may find that this really strong heart energy helps you to open and create more loving relationships and connections. It may help you to love deeper, understand what love means to you on a deeper level. And it can also help to heal any heart wounds or blockages in the heart energy field that may be holding you back and blocking your creativity or your feelings of purpose. Scorpio, change is on the horizon. 2021 brings this sense that change is coming. It might not be here just yet. You might not be able to understand it just yet, but you will begin to feel the stirrings of change flowing through your life. Whenever we get to this point where we're at a stage where we can feel we've come to the end of a cycle or the end of a chapter, we usually notice some sort of culmination. That could be, some rewards or some work coming to fruition. It could also be something leaving your life that you've sort of outgrown. You could definitely notice those type of themes unfolding for you this year. You're kind of reaching that culmination point of all the things that you've been working very hard to achieve. You may also find your home and family life drawing your attention in some way. You may think of moving. You may be guided to create a more stable home environment, or you may want to move to be closer to family or find you need to be, work through some family issues or wounds. That could also come up for you in 2021 as well. But you are in a very powerful place of having all that you've worked hard to achieve come to fruition. You're getting ready to level up, so all that you've outgrown will bloom and then also fall away, so a new chapter can arrive. Sagittarius, the eclipses have been in your sign and will continue to be for 2021. So you are definitely feeling this sort of death and rebirth energy. You'll definitely start feeling more of the rebirth side of that come the end of this year, but you are really transforming from the inside out. This is a really good year to focus on expressing yourself. This is not just what you say or your ability to communicate. It's also about how you're expressing yourself to the world. Are you showing up in your true, authentic self? Or are you showing up trying to fit into a mold, trying to be this person that you want to be rather than the person that you are? So that will be something to think about through 2021. But you are going through this beautiful rebirth, and when you come out the other side, you'll be feeling stronger, more aligned, and more grounded and centered in your true and higher self. Capricorn, you have been kind of having a bit of a cosmic workout the last couple of years, but 2021 brings some rest. Just be sure that your ambitious self is actually taking time to rest and use this recharge energy that is on offer to you this year. 2021, I know it sounds a little bit boring, but it is a good year for you to just get organized, get your finances in order, get all those nagging things that need to be done, create a more peaceful, organized, home environment. This is just a year of just organizing and kind of bringing a sense of harmony to your space and to the way that you run the small little things that make up our lives, right? It's a really good year for that. Also, you have strong, abundant energy on offer to you as well, particularly around your work life. If you're working, there are beautiful opportunities to increase your income, to increase your abundance in some way. So see if you can feel out for those opportunities this year, because you're surely to find a few of them. Aquarius, you are the star of 2021. There is so much energy coming your way this year, and there are so many ways that you'll be able to use and tap into this energy. 2021 might take you on a sort of adventure, helping you to realize new things about yourself. It's an adventure where you really get to discover new parts of who you are, new parts of the world, maybe new parts of what you're capable of. It's an adventure of self-discovery for you this year. Beautiful energy. You have a lot of cosmic support. When you do have a lot of energy coming your way, you do of course have to be mindful to recharge, check in, stay grounded, especially as an air sign. You want to make sure that you can, process and be rooted and present in all this beautiful energy that's being sent your way. Pisces, your blossom moment is coming, especially when we get Jupiter in your sign, which happens for that small little window between March and July. You will really start feeling the little bud that you are opening its petals to the world. You really have some beautiful energy on the way that will help you to open into the full, beautiful, flower that you are to become. Know that whatever energy, whatever efforts you put in this year, they're going to help you blossom bigger, bolder, and brighter. So think about what it is that you want and start taking action. This is your year to kind of put those pieces into place, because come next year especially, you are going to be in your full bloom moment. So what you plant this year, what you sow this year, will be what you get to work with and what you're rewarded with next year. So this is really a year of taking action and knowing that all the work that you've put in is going to help open and bring about your blossom moment. All right, guys, thank you so much. I wish you a healthy, happy, and peaceful 2021.